Today's episode of The Chop Shop is brought to you by our good folks over at Manscaped. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code The Chop Shop at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com using the code The Chop Shop.
Welcome to the Chop Shop. I am Eddie James. Next to me is my brother from another mother. Fastest hands in all of the tri-state. He is a VIP, a very Italian person. DJ React.
Yep.
Nice. Ladies and gentlemen, special interview today. This woman is my sister in beats. She is an educator hailing from Racine, Wisconsin, by way of Brooklyn, New York. She is one of the up-and-coming producers. I've seen her maturation in real time, and ladies and gentlemen, it is happening fast. As you can hear, the heat that's playing in the background. Ladies and gentlemen, Brown Jewel. We have Brown Jewel at the Chop Shop. Let's go. Yay!
What's up?
What's up, Brown? I'm happy. I'm so happy. I just got chills. I'm happy because you're the homie. Yes.
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm happy to be on here.
We're happy to have you. When we first met, you are such an gang. I mean, I'm sorry. You know, if you're affiliated with any other beat crews, we're sorry, beat crews. She's sessioning in. She's Battle Lab sessioning in. You were in the audience for a minute, and then all of a sudden you pulled the trigger, and you just started playing beats. I felt like that you weren't sure about your music at the time, and we're talking about 2020 during the pandemic. But you shot your shot, and we embraced you, and your music was dope. And I saw the upside. Can you speak to how coming from Racine, Wisconsin, the home of who again?
Karan Butler,
NBA basketball star. Can you speak to how you came into making music? How'd you start? Were you DJ? I just want to know your origins.
Yeah, I started just loving music when I was a kid. You know, my mom and dad both played music throughout the house. My dad more so like old school R&B, you know, Isley Brothers, all of that kind of good music, Luther and Parliament. My mom was more so playing a lot of gospel. I don't know, I just always loved sounds, you know? I loved music. And I remember my dad would take me to, we had one little shop in Racine called Mainstream. And Mainstream had all of the records, cassettes, you know, at that time, cassettes were in. And then when I got maybe in middle school or high school, I was obsessed with Columbia House. Like, and I would be getting like 12 CDs for like 1 cent. It was like Columbia House, and I think it was BMG. So I was like collecting so much music through that because my dad was like, sure, we'll do that. And like I was getting a lot of music from that. So I just loved music. And so that's where it started. I think just being in a house where it was embraced, you know.
Now, were you a DJ at all? Did you like dabble with DJing prior to getting into making music?
No, I never dabbled in DJing, but I think my senior year in school, I can't remember when.
Was that like 2 years ago?
That was a long time ago. That was so long ago. I'm aging myself because I don't remember what year like the download site started. But whenever that happened, I started downloading instrumentals, right? I was either a senior in high school or something, and two of my friends would come over. My dad let me get a microphone, and they would go to the garage, and I would record them. So, like, that was my start, really, of, like, getting into music like that, because I essentially was engineering them. And I realized I hated it because one of them would get on the mic, flow out his stuff really fast, and the other guy's like, run it back, run it back, run it back. Like, I hate it. I hate it when he would do that. So I was like, oh, this is so tedious, because I kept having to start the track over at the beginning. But that was
were they like rhyming on just regular instrumentals, like hip hop instrumentals, or? Yeah,
on instrumentals, and I think maybe I was using, can't even remember, maybe SoundForge or.
Oh, wait a minute. So were you making beats already at that time?
No, not at all. I didn't know what that was. Honestly, I had no idea what beat making was or like I knew music, but I didn't know those terms. So at that time it was just, I'm recording my friends. I wasn't calling it engineering. I'm just like, y'all can come. Let's record some stuff,
Oh, so you had a studio set up and basically like you had the free studio and they were like, yo, let's go to Brown's house because it's free.
But keeping in mind, like my dad did not play. So like he loved my friend Josh. So Josh was always welcome. And when Josh was like, well, this is my best friend Reggie, then Reggie could come over too. But other than them, nobody else could come to the house rapping.
Two homies and shit. My pops was like, yo, what the heck is going on in here? Like, yo, like what is, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know your pops was like looking in the garage like, what's going on? Like, all right.
Yeah, but then he left us alone. Like, he loved Josh, so it was like another son to him.
Shout out to Josh. So what I'm hearing is, React, you guys might be around the same age. I'm not going to ask your age, Brown, but React.
I'm 1 year older than React.
Oh, okay.
Because I feel like I heard you say your age at the beginning, kind of. So I'm 1 year older than
Off camera, I said my age.
Well,
okay.
Okay.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
All right. But man, black don't crack. Man, for real, because Brown, hey man, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we just don't. So you were recording your friends. Did you have a true feel for hip hop music, or how'd you get into beat making?
Yeah. So beat making
or producing, because you're a producer.
Thank you for that, Eddie. Thank you. Because I doubt it all the time. And then I have to recheck myself and think of all the different things I've done that have made it solidified. I do make beats and I also do produce. So I appreciate you for affirming
No. We learned that. I mean, I've learned that throughout the years. Sometimes I forget, but we had an interview with Focus, and Focus was he just told us, like, beat making is one thing, and then when you actually take skeletons and then you go back and then you put stuff in, that's the actual production part of it. And I've heard your music, and I know you've done that. So you are a producer. So when did it all start?
So it started actually 20 years ago. And the storyline is my father got sick in my freshman year of college, and he had cancer. And so
sorry to hear that.
His 20th anniversary was actually last month. And after he passed, I went to Alabama, because that's where all my mom's family was at. So we went to Mobile, Alabama for like a little bit, like a couple weeks or whatever. And my cousin Patrick, he already was making beats. And he was just keeping me up because I just could hear him just like hitting like whatever he was pushing on at that time. I could hear him doing it, but I couldn't hear the sound because he had his headphones in. Mm-hmm. So I was like, man, what are you doing? You're keeping me up. And he unplugged it, and it was like, yo, like, wow. Like he's really great to this day. He's a really amazing producer. And so when I went back home and then I went back to college for my sophomore year, I told him, I was like, I think I want to make beats too. And so my dad, because he passed, I was left as a beneficiary. So I had a lot of money, and it was a lot of money. And so I was able to pull some of that to buy my first piece of equipment, which was the Triton Classic. And so then my cousin,
he reacts. Very nice. Yeah, that's talk about a jump forward. Huh?
I know, right?
Diving right in.
Yeah, I was like, hey, like, what should I get? And he was like, you could get a Roland Phantom, or you could get the Motif, or you could get the Triton. And I think the reason why I chose the Triton was because it was a little bit cheaper than the other two.
I think everybody wanted the Triton back in the day.
I had a Triton.
For the most part. I think everybody did. Yeah, I had one too.
So was that the first thing that you actually started off on? Was the Triton?
Yeah. And, back then we didn't have YouTube and stuff to figure it out. So my cousin was like kind of trying to teach me over the phone, like how to navigate stuff, because I was too stubborn to try to read the manual. And so he's like telling me how to just, as long as I knew how to set up the main screen, like the programming screen or whatever, I was fine. And then I went from there. But I had no idea about song structure. I was just making like a long, I don't know, like a 2-minute loop. Yeah, that was like, it was nothing. It was no changes. It was no drops. It was nothing. It was just a flow.
Attention, basketball fanatics. It is game time. That's right. NBA season is back. You already know Knicks tape all day long, but it's okay. Even if you're not a Knicks fan, we got an MVP slam dunk for you this season. That's right. Our friends over at Manscaped, they just put out some game-changing stuff. This trimmer is 100% your new MVP. It's going to give you that nothing but net feeling once you're done. The brand new Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra from Manscaped. Do not be the guy who fouls out in the grooming department. Be the guy that scores 20% off and free shipping with the code TheChopShop at manscaped.com. Get the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra and get your grooming game in championship form. Let me break down the play-by-play for you real quick. Inside this package, the star of the show, the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. This is their 5th generation trimmer. It has 2 interchangeable blades. It's 2 razors in one. There's a standard blade for taking a little bit off the top, and their new foil blade, which will keep you nice and smooth wherever you decide to shave. The Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra also features dual LED spotlights. That is right. You could shave your balls in the dark. Trust me, I tried it the other day in complete darkness. No nicks, no cuts. Complete darkness, smooth balls. Don't forget, if you're taking it on the go, Manscaped's got you covered. This puppy comes with the travel case already. It even has a travel lock feature on the device itself to avoid any accidental powering and weird looks at the airport. We are on the cutting edge of cutting pubes, people. Upgrade your ball trimmer and your life will follow. Once again, get 20% off plus free shipping with the code TheChopShop at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with our code TheChopShop at manscaped.com. I could promise you've never seen a ball trimmer look like a spaceship. This thing is a spaceship. Get yours today from our folks over at Manscaped.
I had it hard, but I didn't have enough money to buy a Triton right off the bat. Actually, Derek Coleman, shout out to my big bro. Derek bought my Triton because I was poor. Starting off with the Triton, how are you shaving those things?
The disc. It had like the hard disk.
Yeah, Triton had a floppy drive.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, it had a hard disk, and I learned the hardest way on what format meant because I formatted that disc and I lost all of those beats. Like my first sets of beats, all were gone when I pushed format. I was like, oh my God.
But
I learned that day.
We all have those war stories where we lose. I lost a clip of joints, and I swear to you, I cried. I was alone, and I cried like a literally.
It's painful.
Now I think about it. I was crying. I know, and react. I mean, I remember when your computer, like something happened to your laptop, and like
2 years ago, right out my driveway.
Ooh,
Jewel.
What?
I left my Mercedes unlocked, and I had my laptop and my backpack with my laptop, my DJ controller. I think it was the DDJ, the 1000 or whatever it was, and then my machine, my MK3, right out the trunk in my driveway. They took that shit, and you said you lost all your old stuff.
Oh, I
was coming from somebody's house, or I was coming from somewhere, so I had my hard drive that had the backup of my computer in my laptop bag, right? So I couldn't even restore from the backup that I had, and I had an old lacy hard drive
Yeah.
in my backpack, and like it had Pro Tool sessions from like early 2000s, every single like beat that I made on like my first pieces of gear, my MPC.
React, you're making my stomach hurt right now. Stop.
Yeah, I lost all the mixtapes that I started and like never finished.
That's right, because you hit me up and was like, "Yo, do you have this mix that I did?"
Yeah, I lost everything.
Speak to your influences. You go from Wisconsin down to Mobile, Alabama. The sounds of music from Midwest down to straight down to Alabama. What artist or what producer got the juices flowing, basically, for you to do beats or to produce?
Well, I think first the music that I really liked listening to was definitely R&B. That's part one. And I remember just always watching like every award show I could watch, every behind the scenes of how something was made. Like I remember watching, it was like Jodeci did like making of Diary of a Mad Band. And I was just so like BET had it on there, and I just was so fascinated with it. And then like I went down, and then I think they did like a special, or it might have been the same one where Devontae. So Devontae Swing definitely was influencing me a lot. Yeah. I remember he just was playing some stuff on the piano, and maybe it was like at the Apollo or something, and I was just like so blown away by like his talent, So
you had that, and then you we don't want to forget your cousin. When did it all click when you saw your cousin programming beats?
I knew I wanted to do that. Yeah, I knew I wanted to do it. And then every time I would go down there, they were playing like Ice Cream Man, all this Master P stuff. So I was bringing that back up with me. So the producer KLC was really like heavy too. Like, so I really loved R&B, but I really loved what like No Limit was doing. And so when I first started making beats, I was trying to make like No Limit beats.
808s, like hard 8. And like sense.
But it never came out like that. It wasn't right. It wasn't right. But
oh man, like listen, I try hard. Like boy, you lucky you don't have some of your because on YouTube's floating around because I was looking.
They got deleted, man. She formatted the shit.
Most of that stuff got deleted, except like after I got new discs. I started saving some stuff, so I have some stuff on one of my old hard drives, but it wasn't my very first beats. It was like my second batch of beats.
Yeah, we all had to start somewhere, and trust me, you guys would laugh. I mean, hard if you heard like my first joints ever. Like that. I mean, everything is like 110 BPMs, and my cousin was rhyming like silly fast and like DOS Effects style. It was like De La Soul. Everything was 110, and it sounded really mid and trash. So
wait. I was gonna play her the hardcore record that you hate.
Oh no, yeah. But you know what that hardcore record, everybody was rhyming on Rap City the Basement, Method Man and 50 Cent, all of them. But I hate it. It's not about me. It's about Brown Jew. God damn it.
This is one of your first joints. Is this one of your first joints?
No, absolutely not.
No, it's not. Right?
This
isn't one of his first records, but this one gets him. He cringes when he hears it. So.
They ain't ready for me. Aki. Strike the blitz wizard. Open up the drop it on you 2001 blizzard. Once I come unglued, I watch them go blizzard. Slide the sheet over, stick the chicken in the gizzard. Call the anesthesiologist.
That's the Seth. He just dropped the album. Go get it.
Get injected. Embedded. Break. Migraine pain headache. Out the bag. Set. Let it. Watch him scramble for the exit.
All right. Enough.
Okay.
Enough. But that was too. I mean, first of all, that record went hard. Pause. And it had to be something. Now I'm thinking in hindsight because Tigger and Redman and all those guys are rapping on it. So they, But I hate that. I hate that beat. Shouts to Seth Marcel and Aki. The record's hardcore. And the remix I did with Jadakiss anyway. So, Brown, did you go back? You went back up to Wisconsin. You started doing beats
in Minnesota. So in Wisconsin, that's where my home it was. But I was in University of Minnesota. So I went back to Minnesota.
Really?
That's where I was at school at. Yeah.
Great
Golden
school.
Gopher.
Yes, great school. Shouts to the Golden Gophers. I think they beat Syracuse. No, I think they beat Syracuse or something like that. So it's like,
yeah. I think hurt right now. You feeling hurt?
No, I think they beat up on us for something, either hoops or football. Either one of them. I know y'all won that game. We played y'all. So you were producing music back then. Were you like, what were you listening to? What producers at the time were you influenced by?
It was still KLC. Then it was like Just Blaze. I think heavily Just Blaze and Arsonist from Heatmakers.
Did you speed up your samples like them too? Like chipmunk style samples?
A little bit sometimes. But yeah, I was listening to them a lot. I thought Dipset was like doing so great. So I was like, I want to make some beats for Dipset. So when I started sampling, that's who I was like, oh shoot, let me sample like that.
So when you were sampling, I mean, I'm not sure. I don't even know because I never used the Triton. Did they have a sampler? Were you sampling on the Triton? Okay.
No. So the Triton, I think for the first. So I started in 2003. So maybe for the first 2 years, I was just making everything from scratch. And then a friend was using FL and introduced me to sampling. And I didn't even want to use software. Honestly, I was just like, what is this? Like, I want to use, my hardware, or I'll get another piece of hardware if I can. And he was like, no, like you should think about sampling. And then he taught me how to sample, which I thought was also really tedious because the way he would do it, he would take maybe a 2-bar loop and he would chop it into like 100 pieces and then go to another section and chop that into 100 pieces. And I'm just like, oh my God, it was just it took so long because you also couldn't save it the same in FL back then. He had to use another software to do those chops in and then put it back in FL. But that's how I learned. So I learned how to super micro chop from the very beginning. So now when I take a loop of something, I don't feel bad about it because I went through some labor to learn the hardest ways to chop up some samples.
Yeah, that sounds pretty that sounds pretty freaking hard. We thought that Tyven the producer story was pretty hard with Fruity Loops.
Well, he was on a demo of Fruity Loops.
He was on demo and he had to find Wi-Fi. He had to walk to McDonald's and do beats.
Wow.
And then he couldn't save it.
Yeah, and then he couldn't save it because it would time out every 5 minutes or 15 minutes. It would kick him out because it was a demo. So he would have to like rush to make something and then export it. Yeah, and then like export it to or bounce it out before, you know what I mean? Like
before it ended. Like, but but yours seems pretty tedious too, man. Like, I like how you FL users like to say FL. It was Fruity Loops.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds better like Fruity Loops. You know. I mean, hell, Ninth Wonder started off on Fruity Loops.
Yeah, and he's actually Ninth Wonder is the reason why I stuck with FL once I got on it because people were clowning FL back then. Like they were like, "That's trash, it's a trash program." But when I found out that Ninth Wonder produced that Destiny's Child project on FL, I said, "Well, shoot, I can keep this too." He's producing for Beyonce now.
Yeah, with Beyonce, and then it was Little Brother, all that stuff, and then the Jay-Z Threats record. I believe he did all that on FL. And then you got Eric G, who's still on FL.
Eric.
Yep.
So Eric's super dope. And so are you still using Fruity Loops?
I use it, and also I use Serato Studio. Back then I was also using Reason. I would rewire Reason with FL, but I haven't used Reason in a long time.
Oh, it's React.
Rewire gang. That's what we used to do. Me and Static. Yeah. Eddie did it for a little while too.
I didn't rewire it though. I mean, like you guys. Well, I didn't use it. I just used it because I sold my Triton
as a rack.
I use it as I just used it as the sounds because I was always programming through my MPC at the time. So I had like I had a ES Motif ES rack.
Okay.
Which was really dope. Yeah, the Motif ES, and it was super dope. And then I was looking at it, and then looking at I'll pay my bills, and I was like, ooh, I can't afford to pay this. I'm selling this shit.
Right.
It's time to sell it. And then I was like, what am I gonna do to replace those sounds? And then I think somebody told me about so that's how it happens, just the producer life, until you get responsible.
I pawned my Triton, so I know. I pawned my Triton and I never got it back. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know why I did that. That was when I was in college. I think I was a junior. Or no, I think I might have been a senior. And I was like, let me just get some extra money. When I could have simply called my mom. Like, I was just doing reckless things.
Listen, this is the thing about this show. Like, there's no shame in anything. Like, we might have to do a segment about pawning equipment because
Yo,
like,
who are you
as
talking to, bro? I am the fucking Don Dada of buying and selling equipment. Anybody who knows me, who listens to this shit,
yes,
you motherfuckers know.
Oh yeah, I bought some pieces. He's donated a lot of pieces to me.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. But I completely get it because when you start realizing, I mean, there's a certain time when you become responsible. And this game can be very hard and not rewarding.
Yeah.
And then you're sitting around worrying about how you're going to do it. And then you're looking at the equipment and the mathematics don't add up. And then you're looking at the
math ain't mathing.
The math ain't mathing, right? And you're looking at the expensive equipment that you bought just on a spur of the moment, impulse buying because you had to have it. And I sold it and didn't even think about it. I was just like, oh, well, what I'm going to do is replace those sounds. So I got Reason and I loved it. But I didn't use it. I used to just slave everything.
Yeah, you MIDI'd everything back to the MPC.
Yeah, to my MPC.
Yeah.
So tell me about, so you were using Reason.
I love the sounds in Reason. That's why. FL stock sounds back then were just, nah. And I didn't have VSTs. I had plenty of like drum kits from people, but I didn't have VSTs. And Reason's sounds were so much stronger and fuller that...
Yeah.
That's why I started using it I used FL because I thought the process in FL was easier. So I would rewire Reason to FL just so I could use Reason sounds.
Smart.
Absolutely. So you left from now you're in Minnesota, and how'd you transition to NY, New York? How'd you even end up in Brooklyn?
I ended up in New York because I always liked visiting. But there was like stops in between. So like I went from Minnesota to Korea. I was in Korea for a year. And then I moved to Atlanta for like 5 years. And then I went back to Korea for 3 years. And then I came to New York.
Wait, what is going on?
Hold on. What were you doing in Korea?
Teaching English.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, listen, that's different. I thought you were
she was
like,
the
hey,
educator.
I want to go to Korea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's keeping it super clean, and this might be the.
I'm sorry, I was dropping F-bombs before. My bad.
That's all right. Because maybe on this episode we can just do the poops.
I'm sure my old students know that I cuss, but I always keep them in the back of my mind because they cuss. They cuss. They be cussing in elementary school, but for me, I'm just like, let me not cuss.
What's your last? They'll be like, Miss. I don't know. I was gonna say Miss Brown Jew. I'm hungry as fuck. Say it.
Miss Brown, I gotta go to the fucking bathroom. Miss Brown.
All right. I gotta piss. Sorry. Man, so Korea, was there any hip hop or any music? Did you bring your pack? Did you pack up your stuff and was like, yo, were you just beat making in the closet, or were you working with anybody?
I wasn't. I think that's why there's phases of my so to be clear, I never stopped making beats. And even when I pawned my Triton, my friend had just taught me how to use FL. So I was like, well, shit, at least I got something I can still make beats on.
Absolutely.
I never stopped making music. Just different phases of my life where I created more. And when I went to Korea, I was just so loving a new experience. And then I started doing Muay Thai there. And then the people were treating me nice. So building my Korean brothers and sisters and stuff, they were just so good to me. So yeah. I was still making beats, and I would sell beats to people back home in the States, but I didn't, the first time I didn't connect with any artists while I was there, because I was just so focused on just embracing the culture and then sampling when people requested me to make a beat for them.
Were you sampling heavy? Some of your influences, jazz samples, soul. What were you into?
Yeah, I was sampling.
I'm only asking this because I'm really intrigued. I'm intrigued by your sound. I can't put a label on your sound. It sounds very universal. And now that I think about it, now if you explain to me that you've been around the world, it makes sense that, your music is worldly.
When I started sampling, the first track I remember I sampled was the Bobby Womack's "A Woman Gotta Have It." And at that time, I did not know that 50 Cent, I think it was 50 Cent had a song coming out, or it did come out that had that same sample in it. I can't remember the name of it, but that was the first song that I sampled. And then once I did that, digging in like a lot of, what was it, like Teddy Pendergrass and, stuff I grew up listening to in the house. So like, of course I sampled some Isley Brothers, like Brown Eyed Girl and stuff. And
okay,
I attempted to sample Maze several times. It was always trash. Wait a minute, it just never came out right. I'm just
which one? Which song?
What was it? Not real. I can't get over you. I tried sampling that song so many times. I loved it so much. I was like, I really want to chop it, but I just couldn't get it right.
And the record that you were talking about with 50 Cent was because it was driving me crazy. It was the "What If" record by 50.
Yeah, What If?
What If?
What If?
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
So you were in Atlanta for a while. Were you influenced by their sound? What was the whole? Was it Beats by the Pound? The whole No Limit. Was it Beats by the Pound that did?
KLC. I don't think was he part of Beats by the Pound? I don't know if he was part of Beats by the Pound.
KLC was in Beats by the Pound.
KLC was part of the production team. Yes.
Okay.
That was the production.
So were you influenced by the Atlanta sound? Because it was heavy.
Yeah. When I got down in Atlanta, it was 2009. I think 2008 or 2009 was when I came back to the States. And I liked Atlanta's music to go out and party with, but it didn't resonate in my spirit to like make that style of music. You know what I'm saying? I enjoyed listening to it. I played it all the time, but I was never like, I want to make music like that. I did enjoy though going to Atlanta was when I first started going to beat battles. I was never in a beat battle, but it was like the first time I saw like Drugs beats. He was in a battle.
Oh yeah,
that's the first time I saw him. That was like 2010 maybe, 2011 when I saw him battle. And I had never seen anything like that before. So I would go to the beat battles just to watch them because I was so amazed by all the talent that was coming out. And there was a woman named Shantae, and that was another thing. There was a woman named Shantae, and I don't know where she is today, but she flipped this Michael Jackson track. And it just blew my mind. I'm like, and I had never seen another woman really producing either. So Shantae, I don't remember if she went up against Drugs or someone else, but wow, like she really inspired me too. And I don't know if she still produces now, but she was amazing, like amazing.
First of all, you're dope. I think women I know there are a shit ton of women who are really out there killing it, but they just don't. It sucks, to be honest. They don't get the light. Like I said, our platform is, we're into interesting stories, but I don't think women just really get the light that they should. So,
Jules, speak to the Creator Suite. I was reading about that after you came up here to New York. Was that like a group of like, women who were into music production at that time when you came up here?
Yeah, so the Creator Suite is actually like, I think it's considered a nonprofit. I'm not sure. But the founder is Abita Austin, who is an engineer, an amazing engineer. But she also now does, like, I believe, like videography, photography, all kinds of things. But she has this organization that, was really supporting like women producers and engineers, and maybe even writers too. I'm not sure. I can't remember. It was maybe like 2019 at that time. 2019, maybe I saw a beat cipher that her organization threw, and Posy Bell was in it. I can't remember the other folks. I remember Posy Bell, but it was just, like maybe like 5 women doing a beat cipher. And I thought that was really dope. And then the pandemic happened. And then when things went virtual, Abita asked me to be on a virtual beat cipher. So I was with Sadiva from Australia, Lisa Vasquez, Jaya from Canada. I don't think I'm missing somebody, but I think it was us 4. It was 4 women. We were part of it.
And the reason why I ask is because, I mentioned it to Eddie. We should do a whole women series, women in beats or women in, just women in music in general. Honestly, you were the first woman, producer that popped in my head. Because Session In and
Gang Gang.
Session In Gang Gang.
Yes.
Shouts to Slop Funk Dust and
shouts to Slop.
Antrix.
Antrix.
But you were the first one that came into my mind, popped into my head, hearing you on the Session In, and then also hearing you on Serato Kitchen with the folks over at Serato. Shouts to OP. Mr.
Shouts
OP.
to OP and shouts to, I'm going to shout out Gender Amplified too. Ebony Smith has that organization as well for women and non-binary producers, engineers, writers. And we were able to be part of this collaboration with Serato to create this sound pack that's actually coming out in maybe 2 weeks.
Yes,
so if
that's right. That's right. You guys got a whole sound pack coming out.
Yeah, it's coming. Shout out to them because that was a lot of talented women and non-binary folks involved in that too. And Ebony is really amazing as well.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, these things are not brought to the light, just not enough.
No, not at all.
So we spoke of Session In. Can you speak to how you even stumbled on this to Session In?
Yeah, from that beat cipher with Abita's Creator Suite. There was Elliot Gann, also known as Philip Drummond, who runs the nonprofit Today's Future Sound. He was in it, and then I believe he sent me a DM or something. He was like, "Hey, I just saw you in this beat cipher. You should check out Session In." And I also do a cipher because you guys were on opposite days. Like his was on Saturdays and y'all were on Friday, I believe.
Saturday.
Y'all were on Saturday, so then he was on Friday.
That's right. Yeah.
And
shouts to Ellie again.
Yeah, he's the one that told me about y'all. That's how I found y'all, because he reached out and told me about both of y'all. I didn't even know about any of these online ciphers that was happening. But Elliot saw me in Abita's, and then it went from there.
I remember logging on and because I always want to see who people, who's in the room, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, wow, okay, who's Brown Jill?
Who is that?
You know what I'm saying?
Ring.
What is that?
Hold up for a second.
That's Eddie's ringtone.
Hey.
Yo,
I'm doing an interview right now with Brown Jewel, bro.
Oh shit, my bad, B. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Was that Divine?
We got the Divine drummer on here.
Divine?
Yo, Brown said, "What up?"
Oh, who on deck? Seth?
No. Brown Jewel said, "What up, though?"
Brown Juice, what up, mama?
Hey, man. I mean, you got your computer, man, your mic, man. Where you at, man? You come hop in.
Man, plug me in, man. Send me one.
We want some link, bro. Okay, hell yeah, send the link, bro.
Send the link, nigga.
You at the crib?
Yeah.
All right. We gonna.
Hey, yo, come on, man, with the investigative reporter. Yeah, send me the link, kid.
All right. We'll send it over right now.
All right.
We were gonna surprise you.
Oh, what?
With Divine. Divine, he's gonna be one of our personalities on Chop Shop.
Oh, that's dope.
And he's one of our brothers,
I
so
love Divine. He's amazing.
I need his email address though.
And we can't get enough of him saying, "No, I'm saying." I mean, as we do this, we can continue. So you hopped into the room and were you petrified like me? Because I wasn't petrified, but I was just like, wow, I gotta get my shit up. Pause. I was like, it took me 2 weeks though.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it was maybe 1 week or 2 weeks. Yeah. When I first came into the Session In, I was like, there's no way I'm playing tonight. I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm like, I gotta go through my library and look for my hottest shit ever before I come back. When did you hop in? Like I came in episode 18.
It might have been in the 20s though.
Yeah, because I remember shortly after.
Yeah, I can't remember. I feel like it was like 20s, 30s probably. I don't know. I didn't feel anything. Like I just felt I'm like one of the only women, if not the only woman again in a space. So that's always the first thing. I'm like looking around at all the guys and I'm just like, well, I guess I gotta just, you know what I'm saying? I just gotta come through and play something. And so that was the only thing I really thought. Like I thought, wow, like this room is so talented. And then I was just kept thinking, okay, reminding myself like, okay, I'm talented too. Like people about myself, I've had placements before. Everyone's style is so different. Stop comparing yourself. I just got to remind myself those things, I'm
glad you said that because everybody's style. I mean, first of all, everybody's style, I guess in that room is different, but there are a lot of people that sound like each other. I will say that nobody sounds like Brown Jewel. That is like you have your sound. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like I can't really explain it. It's extremely dope. I love your sound. There's hints of you have melodic keys playing, and then you chop up samples and you got some slappers.
Yeah, let's run one.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's just get into some music real quick. That's what I'm talking about.
You playing the bass?
Hell yeah, she playing that bass.
Yeah, I'm playing it.
Woo!
Fire.
Oh man, see. Man, that's what I'm talking about. Like so many avenues that you go down. That beat is off of the Vanilla joint.
Yeah.
Yeah. I told you put that music out.
I got something coming tomorrow.
What are we doing?
Well, actually today. Now it's after midnight. It's coming today. I got something new coming. The Jewel Flips Volume 2. So get ready for these remixes. They're dropping later today.
Oh man, you releasing something tomorrow?
Yeah, you want me to see something so right now for a preview?
Absolutely, but we can play it. I mean,
Wait,
we can always
play stuff with people's vocals on it though, or is it like a clearance thing, or is it okay on here?
Yeah, we don't worry about that. They're gonna have to come after us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I'm gonna play this joint.
Ooh. Like I said, so many sounds, man. Just different flavors. Yeah, that goes crazy.
Fire.
It's truly amazing to hear your maturation. I'm seeing it. Like every time you come with something else, it's a level. You've leveled up. It's a beautiful thing to see in real time.
So you're working on a new project. It's coming out tomorrow, but by the time this episode airs, it's already going to be out.
It's dropping, and I'm going to drop it as soon as I get off the call with you. I got to just fix some stuff, and it's going up. It'll be on Bandcamp.
Hell yeah. Go and buy that shit, you cheap motherfuckers. Sorry. It drives me crazy. Streaming is cool. I don't knock streaming, but you got to support these people. You support Brown Jewel. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, yeah.
Sleeping all day, cheaping, rolling, 50 games.
Oh my God.
The body's on fire.
That shit was so fire, he dropped his mic. Look at that. This shit was so fire, he kicked him out the room. This shit is hard, Brown.
My knees get weak when you touch me. Body, use it. Sex game, stupid.
Man, that joint was crazy. That joint was so fire that I spilled about $15 worth of Macallan. The bottle just fell. Man,
He was grooving. Over
I
there.
was. I was trying to, and I was like swaying. It was like, and then I stepped on. I stepped on this damn mic.
All right, well, we got one more to play, so don't.
Yeah, the
don't
mic
spill
fell.
Don't spill your shit with this one.
Nah, I won't.
I saved this one.
I wonder sometimes. I wonder if I was wrong. Trying to right, but you got me. Now all I am is alone. 'Cause
Wow.
don't compare. All they do is distract me now.
This is crazy.
When I face it,
Oh my God. Oh, this is crazy. Oh my God. We have a special guest. Yes, we have an on-air personality over here. We got Divine Drummer in the house.
Yo, what's going on, you mother freakers?
Turn your mic up, mother sucker.
Turn your mic up, mother suckers.
All right, hold on. Yo, you can hear me, B?
Yeah.
Yeah, why the fuck I see the top of your head?
Yeah.
Right.
Pause.
You know what I'm saying, son? You know what I mean? Like, damn, B. You know what I mean?
We
What's good,
want
though,
to
yo?
surprise you, Brown, with our reoccurring personality, Divine Drummer, Mr. Auntie Slayer.
Man,
Divine,
what's going on out here in
Baseline
these
Divine.
streets?
Yeah, man.
I'm so
it's good to
happy I
see you,
hit
man.
all my aunties before you got on. They hiding.
Man, stop playing, man.
You heard that?
Stop playing, yo.
Hey, man, turn your mic up, bro.
You know what? I'm having a bad thing over here, man. I think it's this microphone is fucking stupid or something. Hello.
There we go.
Hey. Remember last time? What the fuck? This thing to work, man. All right, I got this bitch on like 8. You know what I'm saying? Pause.
Okay, are you
Like,
eight?
what the fuck, son?
Fresh off of his trip from Miami.
No, what you mean, man? I'm going this Friday, B.
Oh, okay. All right, there you go. He's going to Miami this Friday.
It's about to be, man.
A movie. I know.
What?
Listen,
Oh
we
my
just
God,
played
bro.
some joints, and I think we're gonna have to run a joint back again, man. Yo,
Play
Brown,
it back,
yo,
goddammit.
yo, sis is killing it now, B. I mean, now she's she really killing it now, B.
Fucking been doing this shit.
Sleeping all day, cheap and rolling, 50
I love Ari
Baby,
Lennox.
you got what
She is
you the real
fire.
one, I'm inspired. Break me up.
Fire.
Yeah. So we played that joint, and then we played this one right here, Divine. Oh my God, this shit go crazy. This shit be, you know what I'm saying? This shit be.
I wonder sometimes, I wonder if I was wrong.
Why I can't listen to this shit in my system?
Yeah,
man?
this
What
shit
the
go
fuck?
crazy.
Not all I am is alone. 'Cause I close and I don't compare.
That drum switch up crazy.
Yeah.
Fire, man.
Oh, that's dumb. That's dumb.
Yeah, man. Hand clasp with Brown Jewel up in this.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Like, so Divine, before you came on, man, we were explaining. We were just about at the point where we're in the room with the session in, and she came on, and I was just telling her, I'm just like, I'm super proud of her. Just the maturation, man. Just the beats that she was playing back then were tough, and the beautiful thing is, every single time I hear something new from Brown Jewel, it's a level up, man. It's crazy. And she's releasing this project tomorrow, Flips 2, right? Is it called Brown Jewel Flips 2?
Jewel
Man.
Flips. Yeah.
Jewel Flips 2. Ooh. How you feel about that, Divine? Because you were in the room with us too, man, with the sis.
Man, Brown always, first of all, she consistent as fuck. She showed up more than a lot of the motherfuckers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That right there in itself. But she always had her sound, her own fucking sound. You know what I'm saying? And
What I just say, React. What I
you
say,
have your
I said.
own sound, all you gotta do is live in that shit, and it's forever. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
she already in it, and she using what you using. You still using Serato, right?
Yeah, Serato and FL.
You got the full package or whatever. Pause.
Yeah.
Of course,
Yeah,
of
for
course. I
Serato.
mean, she
Okay, so
Yeah,
I'm glad you
she's
said that.
sponsored
I'm glad
by.
you said that. Oh, she's sponsored. Oh, that's even better. I'm glad
Yeah,
you
she
said that.
got all the jewels and all no pun intended.
copy.
She got all the goodies from
copy.
from
What is that what it's
Serato.
called? Like, I think I just don't know the terms. Is that what it's called? Like I've never thought of
What?
it as a sponsorship. Is that what it is?
Well, I mean, if I mean, you didn't have to pay for it because you're in the kitchen, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I was in the kitchen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, if they give you, then I mean, you've been on it, and you've been on it a few times.
So wait a minute, you host? It's like you host some shit with them or whatever. How'd
Yeah,
that
I
work?
hosted Serato's Kitchen. So it was like a series that happened once a week for the month of March, I think it was. Maybe it was in March when I did it. So like I get to choose what songs from like their packs that I want to like chop up, and then I chop
Right,
it live on
right.
Twitch. And then people tune in, and then they can submit their chops too. So like Slop had tuned in on, I think the last one, he submitted one of the beats too. He chopped one up. There was a bunch of people from the session and that tuned in. So I love all of y'all
shit, that's
for
what's
loving
up.
on me and showing up too. So I appreciate
Yeah,
y'all.
we
all the
love you
time.
too. We love you too. I mean, like we don't pull no punches. Just like you said, and just like Divine said, like that is true. I almost forgot about that because there were times, dudes will come in there and they hit a fire and they just don't show up. They just
Oh my god, this fucking mouse pad, man.
mouth.
Dang, something else broke on your side?
Stop fucking with that IKEA shit. You got that shit from Wayfair.
Bro, this was the $30.
Oh,
this was
man.
the fucking $30 Staples special, bro. I gotta go tomorrow and get some new shit because this shit is not
You want
it.
your refund?
Bro, look, I gotta put it on top of my 1200 now and hold my mouse like this. Like a real idiot. Oh my god, bro.
No. So I was saying, like, that's true what Divine said about you showing up. You were there, like every week, like,
Hell
yo, I'm
yeah.
here and I'm playing. She gang business.
Y'all was really inspiring me. Y'all kept me motivated to keep going. So I hope y'all know that for real. Like I would go in there and hear y'all playing stuff, and I'm like, then I gotta come back harder next week. They going crazy in here. So
Yeah,
y'all really was pushing me for real.
All I know is you done put out. Well, you had the parables, and you put that out in 2020, and then you took a little small hiatus, and now it's I'm telling you, like what I just heard, them 2 joints right there. That's I mean, even, and it's no disrespect. I mean, it's all love. It's a level up already, like again. So I'm just happy to hear. I can't wait till tomorrow or this weekend, people. Y'all go out and cop that album. Please support this. I'm telling you, you will be happy that you bought it. Man, I'm excited. Like you dropped a jewel on us. You gave us an exclusive. So I can't wait to cop it. Ooh, man, I'm telling you, I'm blasted off.
You know, Eddie, I told you on the phone, like you saying, put stuff out, keep putting stuff out. Like I'll listen to you. So like, of course you're going to get an exclusive. You're going to get that. Cause you the reason why I'm dropping these things. I'm like, Eddie told me stop sitting on my stuff. So I'm like trying to be better about putting more stuff out. So
you hear that? You hear that? You hear that, people? Did you hear that? I'm here for the love. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to. I'm changing my voice. I'm trying to inspire the younger ones to just, it's about legacy. You know what I'm saying? It really is. It's about what you're gonna leave for us, or the people, or what you're giving the people, and what you're gonna leave. It's all about legacy, and that's why I tell all aspiring producers, younger and older, just put your music out. It's not doing any good just on hard drives. For real. And I don't care if you think it's mid or because like for real, I play on words. I was thinking about just going through all my stuff and releasing it and calling it the mids, like all the stuff. Like dead serious, all the stuff that I'm not sure about, I'm just gonna I'm releasing those too. Because it is about legacy, and it's not doing you any good. I mean, it's just gonna sit. So I'm glad that you I'll take credit because that's why.
I'm giving you the credit. You can take it.
I give Eddie credit too all the time. He's like the big brother. Before we go, can you just talk about how the whole Serato Studio Pack came about? I know you mentioned it earlier, but I want to make sure that people know that it's coming out, when it's coming out, who's on it with you, things like that.
Shout out to Vicky Cassis. If y'all aren't familiar with Vicky Cassis, who's another very dope producer as well. Vicky was working with Gender Amplify, like wanted me to like do some work with, like it was like a series. I think it's called Controller Room series, and I hope that's the right name of it. I can't remember exactly. Okay. But she reached out and she was like, "Hey, did you see about this opportunity to do some work with them, with Ebony Smith and everybody?" And I was scared. Like I was actually really scared. So I actually lied to Vicky. This might be the first time she gonna hear me saying I lied to her. I lied to her and told her
exclusive, world premiere.
She was like, "It's going to be happening next weekend or something. You just sign up or whatever." They go, they'll pick you for sure. They will pick you. And I was like, "Oh, girl, I'm gonna be in Maryland that weekend." I was lying because I was terrified. I didn't know what to expect. Like, I'm like, wait, I'm gonna be working in the studio with folks. And like, what if I'm supposed to play like all these instruments or something? And like, I'm slower with that, even though I started from scratch. I've been so sample focused the last few years. Like it's really hard for me to keep jumping back and forth. So it takes me longer to crank out originals compared to when I crank out samples. So I was really scared. And then I think I can't remember what month that was, but then it came back around this year. Yeah. I mean, she asked me like the end of last year. Then it came back around. Like 2 months ago, and OP asked me, and OP asked me. I didn't want to tell OP.
Man, see like dropping names like you can't even get OP. Can't even get OP on the freaking phone. OP Miller. OP's supposed to.
Serato.
OP's coming on the show. He said he would come on the show, and you know, but we're just waiting for whatever new that's dropping. But you're special because nobody gets a call from OP. We always call OP. Always, right? React. Am I right?
Yeah.
A text or a call, and he calls you.
He called me that one time. Well, he called me a couple of times, but there's been times I've tried to reach out. I reach him, but I it's like a delay. So he's a busy guy, though. You know, he's doing a lot with Serato as well as Love Lisa. Love Lisa's doing a lot too. But he hit me up because I think maybe I had just finished the kitchen. I can't remember, but he was like, "Hey, there's another opportunity, and they're looking, you know, for someone. I would really want you to be part of this. And I've already told them about you." And I was like, "Oh no, he's told them about me." And so I'm like, "Oh man." And so I said yes. And like when I tell you, I'm so happy that I did because it was like, you know, the Jupiters, it was the Moogs, it was like so many synthesizers in the room I was in. And like, I was scared. We were sound designing, you know, and I wasn't sure how that was going to look. But my team, I was on the team of Cam and Melissa, who are some dope producers. In each room, there was a different set of producers and musicians. And Cam and Melissa, Melissa was like, you know, how about I'll play something and then I send it to you and you chop it up. And I was like, oh, okay. Ooh. Like I never even thought about that. So she would play something, send it to me. I chop it up, rearrange it. Cam's doing her stuff to it. Like, and then sometimes I'll go onto one of the synthesizers and I'm playing something, recording it in, or I'm doing a bass line on something. It was really an amazing experience. And it was so different. And it's no shade to y'all guys, but it's very different working with women. And it was incredible. Sure. It was like like the energy was just incredible. Listen, and like, that's great. I can't even describe it.
I'm going to tell you something. I believe in my heart of hearts that women are more efficient than men when it comes to any task that they put their mind to. I'm dead ass serious, you know. So I wholeheartedly believe that. I mean, that's a dope look.
When is it coming out, Jewel?
It's dropping in July. I know they're going to be doing another Serato's Kitchen for it. I'm away right now, so I can't be part of the beginning, but I will be part of the last episode. So I'll be on there again with one of the other producers that we worked on the pack, Krithy. Krithy's going to be hosting, and Krithy was part of the percussion room. So I'm excited to get back on the kitchen as well, and I'm excited for this pack to come out with Gender Amplified. It was such an amazing experience, and so
that's dope.
Yeah, like, and it really taught me a lot, you know, it really taught me a lot.
I'm glad these things are happening for you. Okay, I'm going to ask you a question. Who is Brown Jewel's top 5 producers? Top 5. She's at a stump. I
thought you were going to say, like, who I'm listening to right now. And I'm like, oh, I'll tell you who I'm listening to. That's easy. But producers,
Yeah, you can answer that after. But who are your top 5? Who is Brown Jewel's top 5?
I'm still going to keep Just Blaze in my top because
we love Just.
I think a lot of people, I mean, maybe and maybe not, but I think a lot of people look to a lot of the stuff he's done with hip hop specifically. But I also think about, like, he worked on that Beyonce project that came out. Not the last one. I forgot which one. The Freedom song. He did that Freedom song. And I was like, I'm looking at the credits. I'm like, who produced it? I was like, Just Blaze. Of course he produced this. Like, I just think his sound selection is really strong, and he's in my top. So for sure, him. By
far, one of the greatest producers on the planet and ever lived. He actually he committed. Listen, Just, you told me, bro, you're coming on the show. He's coming on the show. He told me.
Man.
Yeah, he's coming on the show. And I'm glad you mentioned him because there was some shade. I won't even get into that, but there was some shade by a couple producers about him, and but he's never sounded like anybody but Just Blaze.
Yeah.
Trendsetter.
For sure.
One of the dopest. Who else? That's one.
4 more.
No particular order.
Okay. I think Q-Tip is in my top.
Ooh, see? You see that?
I think Q-Tip. Because he's also really diverse. Like,
Come on, on my top. He's on my Mount Rushmore.
Oh, really? Yeah,
yes. Hands down.
Yeah, I think Q-Tip.
If there's no Q-Tip, if there's no Q-Tip, if there's no Kamal, the abstract, we don't get that version of Dilla. We don't. And I love Dilla. And he's my favorite producer on the planet. But it does not happen without Kamal. Maybe it does because of his influence, but no, it doesn't. It doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen without Kamal. It doesn't. So I'm glad you said that because, Low End Theory, greatest album ever made. Midnight Marauders, a close second.
Okay.
People's Instinctive Travels, one of the most slept on albums ever. And he produced all those records. And, who else? That's two. You named two people. What's taking you so long?
I'm like Raphael Sadiq.
Oh,
I love Raphael Sadiq.
That's three.
It's so hard because I'm just thinking of songs that really like impacted me too. So I would also say Alchemist. To this day, I love the Alchemist. I wish he would also rap more. That's just my personal thing, though. But
Alchemist is super dope.
Yeah, I love the way he puts together.
For a very long time.
Yeah. So would I have one more?
We got Just Blaze, Q-Tip, Raphael, Alchemist. It's okay. You can change it next time. Well, next time you come on the show as a personality. Yeah. I would love to say Jay Dilla, and the only reason why I'm not saying Jay Dilla is because there's so much about Jay Dilla that I'm still learning now, and also like when songs were coming out, like even like the Erykah Badu songs and stuff. At that time, I didn't know that he was behind those records until so much later, and I'm still reading Dilla Time too. I have that book. So I'm like in real time learning about Jay Dilla and his impact. And so I feel like, prediction, he probably will be in my top as well. But I wasn't like studying him, when I started doing production, It's okay. And that's fair to say. All I can say to you is as far as reading the books is cool, but I'm gonna send you a folder of music.
Okay.
If you really want to dive in real quick, J-Rock, the dope producer, beat junkie J-Rock, the funkiest ever, has the Thank You JD mixes. 1, 2, actually 4. I think there's 4 of them. 1, 2, I know, no, it's 3. 1, 2, and 3. Just start with those. They're on YouTube, and then we'll have this conversation. Just listen to those
shits,
and just listen to that, and then we'll have the conversation afterwards.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I forgot Salam Remy. That's my other one. Salam Remy.
Oh yeah, he's dope.
Ooh, wow, what a great producer, man! Salam is Salam Remy is ill.
Made You Look was like one of the toughest records ever made.
Oh my god!
But even something he did with Amy Winehouse, was really great.
Fuji Lag,
yeah, incredible.
Amy Winehouse, but Fuji Lag goes super duper. That shit snaps hard. Pause. I mean, crazy. Yeah. And another producer that's not really mentioned as much and just got super duper credits. Timeless Music.
What happened to Divine? Did he get an anti-phone call?
Yeah. He's not coming back. Yeah. Yeah, he probably has some aunties in the
he had to
aunties
go in the cellar. He had to go in the
cellar. I want your aunties. But that's man, that is impressive. And speaking of impressive, I'm super proud of you once again, and I can't wait for you to drop more music. I mean, you're teaching young kids about music and everything as well, right? We were talking offline about, you have a camper that's coming back.
Since I talked to you, he got 2 of my other former students to come too. So they're actually here at this camp. All 3 of my first music production students, ironically from Alfred E. Smith, which is where Kool Herc went to. And a lot of the kids didn't even know that. But they are here and they're going to be camp counselors. And I'm just, and one of them packed, Eddie, when I tell you he packed this huge speaker. He's like, Miss Brown, we gonna make some music while I'm here. I'm like, I know you did not just lug that on the Amtrak to this camp. Because we have speakers here, right? Like, he brought his luggage and this huge speaker.
When I was in high school and I first started DJing, I used to go to music camp, like sleepaway camp. Mm-hmm. And it's when I first started DJing. And I said to my mom and my dad, can I bring my turntables? And they were like, absolutely not. And we're still using vinyl at this time, right? This is 99, 2000, whatever year it was. Yeah. After however many times I asked them, they were finally like, you know what, dude? All right, cool. Yeah, you could bring your turntables. So I brought my turntables and mixer, obviously, 3 crates of vinyl.
Oh my God!
You remember the old Techniques speakers, like the three tier speakers with the wood cabinet and the mesh and the black mesh in the front. Yep, I brought 2 of those shits too, so you can imagine. So I didn't even have room for the luggage; like it was just like straight. Yeah.
Oh my! Your parents were mortified.
They were 100% mortified. Like, what is going on right now? Yeah. So I can relate to him carrying a big speaker to the camp.
Yeah, for the children. I can't wait to hear more. You are a rising star, period. Hands down. And it just shows like people, when you go to Bandcamp and you cop Brown Jewel's music, from Parables, which is dope, to Flips, to Vanilla, to Flips 2, which she's releasing sometime tonight. You are going to see. So I want to thank you for coming on the Chop Shop. And I'm telling you right now, the name Brown Jewel is going to live. So, ladies and gentlemen, Brown Jewel, thanks for coming on the Chop Shop.
Thank y'all for having me.